What's up YouTube? The Royal Australian here, welcome back. It's been quite a while since I uploaded last. I have some replays for you guys to check out. You've already seen this one. Now let's check out these guys. These last remaining 4 that I've saved. Yes people, we are using my updated Qli deck. I don't believe it was updated in this video. If it is, then I'm very surprised. Which should be fine with me, if it is updated or not. I started off with a pretty bad hand, obviously, but my opponent was using a combination of normal monsters and stuff. They should have synchro summoned level 7 right there. So what I did was I set 3, 2 cards face down. That's when they started their synchro plays. Mighty Warrior. I Solemn Judgmented the Mighty Warrior. And then I activated the effect of Qliph's End, which allowed me to special summon it. And this is when my opponent was totally screwed. I set this card face down along with Climate Change, then I tribute summoned a Qliphort Towers, just out of pure funsies, to a zone that Qliphort Genius was going to point to, which is a bad idea. I should have summoned it underneath, directly underneath Qliphort Genius. But either way, my opponent attempts to block the attack using a Memory of an Adversary. Obviously, Ape Qliphort Towers is not affected by any spell and trap effects, so they kinda got bit slapped by that card's effect. I then drew 1 card off of Qliphort Monolith. They set 1 monster face down. I activated Recreate and then normal summon Stealth without tributing. Its effect got negated and it returned to 2800 attack. The opponent's monster was deleted and Towers slapped for game right there. On to the next. In this next ranked duel, I was Bronze 2, up against a Bronze 3, I believe. My opponent was using a top tier pendulum deck, but they didn't realize how good I was. They summoned Odd Eye's Pendulum Dragon from their hand and declared their end phase right there. I normal summoned Disc without tribute, set 3 face down, and called it a turn right there. The Pendulum summoned another monster. It was Odd Eye's Persona Dragon. I simply activated the effect of Clipper Launch. I then tributed Qliphort Disc, which was level 7 at the time, and summoned Shell. Shell could open fire twice. The opponent attempted to fusion summon into Rune Eye's Pendulum Dragon. My shell was destroyed, but that was completely fine. The opponent didn't realize that massive mistake. I activated Monolith here, flipped over my Qliph's End, then tributed that Qliph's End to summon a Qliphort Towers. Activated Towers effect, my opponent was forced to send that monster to the graveyard. Activated Monolith's effect, I drew 1 card. My opponent changed the pendulum scale so that they could pendulum summon Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon in defense mode to see if they could defend themselves. But little do they know, I had an Qliphort Towers on the field, still. So what I did was, I just simply pendulum summoned 2 monsters, 1 from my hand. Tributed those 2, summoned Stealth. Returned Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon to the hand, then forced them to discard it. I attacked with Stealth for game. I don't know how my Stealth had 3100 attack. Beats me, but that's fine. Let's move on to the next. By this point, I believe I was still Bronze 2. It required 1 more win to go to Bronze 3. My opponent was using a structure deck. They were using Power of the Dragon structure deck. I activated Monolith in the zone. Helix in the other. I summoned Stealth. The opponent activated Ring of Destruction, which subsequently knocked us both down to 5200 points. I took 1600 damage, which was totally fine. I then activated Climate Change, returned the Stealth to my hand. I activated Laser Clip, normal summon Stealth without tributing. Then I proceeded to open fire, delivered 200 damage. I was kind of scared of the opponent's back row, so I set this card face down and proceeded to battle phase, and okay, I was safe. They brought back the twin-headed behemoth, pardon me. Pardon me, sorry about that. I summoned 2 Stealths in the same turn. My opponent had summoned a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which was too weak. They ended their turn off of that Silver's Cry. They proceeded to threatening roar me. My genius ends up getting destroyed, which was totally fine. I tributed off of a stealth so that I could summon another. I bounced the back row back to the hand. This allowed me to pendulum summon another monster from the extra deck. I link summon into another genius. And really pelted my opponent. I drew an extra card. I Solemn Judgment that Flute of Summoning Dragon. And the rest of those effects were, oh no. Okay, I was bronze 5, bronze 2, bronze 4. It was a massive fluctuations between wins and losses, but I managed to get them done. So here is the final replay for this evening. The opponent was playing a Photon Galaxy deck, which I was very surprised. It's a pretty good deck. I decided not to use the effect of Air Dragon there, but that was totally fine. The opponent knew this game was over. I summoned another disc. I knew what that Galaxy Ice Photon Dragon was capable of doing. It was capable of banishing an opponent's monster during the damage step. But they should have used that effect first before I activated my Clipper launch. I set the Qliphort End face down, smacked my opponent for a total of 6,200 damage. They were left with 1,300, and by this point they knew they were pretty much boned. They ran out of resources and they couldn't do anything. So what I did was just to flex, special summon Qliphort's End with a huge 2,100 attack. I attributed that to summon Qliphort, Aper Qliphort Skybase, and dealt the final blow with Skybase. So with all the current replays watched, ladies and gents, let me give you guys the deck list. I called this deck Crash at the Qliphort because it reminds me of a particular deck that I used to love using in Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist, Link Evolution, and Legacy of the Duelist. It's quite a powerful deck if you know how to use it. Obviously, as you can see, the recipe has been updated. It used to have only one scout, but I managed to put 2 more in. The deck is still 42 cards, because I managed to take some cards out and swap some more cards in. Right now we have 3 Qliphort Scout and Monolith, 2 level 5 vanilla monsters that have pendulum effects that allow you to add a Qli card from your deck to your hand by paying 800 life points, and if you tribute summon a Qliphort monster in the same turn, you can use this card's effect to draw cards equivalent to the amount of tributes that you've used. Even if you tributed a monster this turn and this card was in your hand and you activate it, you can still use this card's effect. That's the most amazing thing about this card's pendulum effect. It's still usable even if the card is not on the field. But let me just say this right here, right now, don't think that it's usable in your hand when it's not. You have to activate it first before you can use that effect. 3 Qliphort Carrier just for the bouncies. 3 Qliphort Helix just for the Twin Twister effect. Twin Twister combined with MST effect. Carrier bounces when it's tributed. Qliphort Helix destroys spell and trap cards if it's tributed. 2 Qliphort Disc, cards broken, brings out these 2 from the deck. A Helix or a Carrier from the deck. You can even use it to summon a Scout, just flexing your opponent that way. 2 Qliphort Shell, cards way more powerful than you realize. If this card is normal summoned or set, it is unaffected by any monster's effects whose original level or rank is lower than this card's. Plus it can attack twice. It also does piercing damage on defense position monsters. 3 Qliphort Stealth for the extra bouncies. 1 Aper Qliphort Skybase, and finally we have 2 Towers to round off the Aper Qliphort monsters and the monsters in this deck. All in all, having 22 monsters in the deck is a pretty bad idea, but then again I have 20 spells/traps to cover it. And we start them off with 3 Sacrifice. When equipped to a Qli monster, that monster can be used as 2 tributes for the tribute summon of a monster. Not only that, it gains 300 attack and can't be destroyed by battle, which is pretty awesome. Laser Clip just for the extra normal summon. It's basically a double summon, but for Qlis only. Climber Change to allow you to add your Qliphort monsters from your extra deck to your hand. Clipper Launch just for those big massive booms and those surprise motherfucker meme moments. When your opponent tries to open fire and you activate this in the damage step. 1 Drowning Mirror Force just to return everything your opponent has to their extra deck and their deck. 3 Qliphort's End just for the tribute summons of the Aper Qliphort monsters. It doesn't really matter because you're mostly tribute summoning only one of them at least per turn. Or well, per duel. 3 Solemn Judgment for those hard negates. And finally we have 3 Recreate to round off all the traps. And in the extra deck we just have simply 3 Qliphort Genius. It is a Qliphort monster, and each and every Qliphort monster's pendulum effect states that you cannot pendulum summon anything except Qliphort monsters. Or special summon anything except Qliphort monsters. I don't think I particularly mind, as long as the card is actually good for its effect, which it currently is right now. This card is quite broken. What happens when this card is link summoned, it is unaffected by other link monsters' effects, and of course other spell and trap effects. However, if 2 pendulum monsters are special summoned to this card zones, to the zones this card points to, you can add a level 5 or higher machine type monster from your deck to your hand. One machine that you can utilize in this deck is Galaxy Soldier or Cyber Dragon, but they are actually quite bad. You must not activate any Qli monsters in the pendulum zones first before you use that effect. You can use 2 machine type monsters for this card's summon, but this card is mostly used in Qliphort decks, as it is a Qliphort card and should always only ever be used in Qliphort decks. However, all in all, I hope you guys enjoyed. I've been the Royal Australian, thank you very much. This has been my crash of the Qliphort deck. Go knock out some fools. Godspeed. God bless America. God bless Australia. God save the Queen. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.